are waking our people up to let them know that we are the American indigenous. Copper color Indians, baby. A real Indian, American Indian is me, not from Africa. Remember that.
African Americans here, but they recently moved here from places like Kenya, Ethiopia, Zambia, Zimbabwe, and Zaire. But now the brother whose family's lived in this country for generations, occupying space in all the locations, New York, Miami, LA, Detroit, Chicago, even if he's wearing a dashiki and sporting an afro. And if you go to Africa in search of your race, you'll find out quick, you're not an African American. You're just a black American in Africa taking up space.
And we are not Africans. We are not African. Are you an African, baby?
Yeah. Conscious. Matic. Alright, so far away I come from. I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense, but nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So yeah, don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants, and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion. We probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all their stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help, then fuck it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself, and I, then it's no one else. Yeah. Self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Spiral out of control just from all the bantering. When they accustomed to talking behind your back with all that chattering, I remove myself before I abuse myself. Talk about self-love, but you gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I won't act too good for no help. We all healing now. Said some things about me that ain't true. How you feeling now? Even now my lowest, they tried to find a way to bring me down. Big y'all up for years, ain't talking just the brand or the sound. I don't throw things around, I do it from the heart proud. Mama just wanna see her sunshine, removing them dark clouds.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Mic check. Mic check. The button wasn't on. Should be all right now. Damn. Mic check. Mic check. All right. That damn button. Yeah, it's on now. So yeah, I want to get it in today. We're gonna go through Barbados records. We're gonna go through the Virgin Islands like St. Kitts and Saint Saint let me see. Where George where what's his face was born. St. Kitts and St. Croix. All right. And we're gonna go through Haiti and we're gonna look at some funny shit. And we also gonna go back to who these damn Africans is. And I'm telling you, the more I research and the more I look into it, I see why. I'm beginning to literally see why. And who the hell is who? Why is this all the way over here? Hey now. So let me just talk about for a minute. Chief Holiday last night went over to Q Butters channel, right? I was asleep. When I go to sleep like about 7, I can't sleep after 6 hours. I can't. Once I wake up, it's a wrap. So I like to go to Q Butters like at midnight. That shit be funny because I've been unslept. And I rolled over. I was expecting to see Smoke up in there. But he wasn't in there. I was dying because they finally let Chief Holiday on the panel. Why did they do that? Chief Holiday went up there and he ripped their ass. Literally. He ripped their ass from 12 midnight to 6 a.m. I'm serious. Just ripping their ass. And they was like, you're not pulling up no sources. Well, they didn't pull up no fucking sources either. I was in the bed dying. I'm like, these Africans, these dudes is standing on being slaves as their history. Yo, I kid you not. And this one dude over there, yo, y'all got to go over there one day when you get a free moment. You ain't got to subscribe to the channel. But on Q Butters channel, it's a dude over there, and I shit you not. His name is Marley Marr. Let me get this right. This shit is hilarious. Marley Marr the God. Yo. His voice, listen. When you hear him talk, and y'all gonna know what I'm talking about. When you go over there and you hear a guy named Marley Marr the God talk. Y'all know Keisha Cole when she sing that song, Love. Love. That is how he talks. I sit there patiently waiting for him to come out his mouth like that. Because the exact way Keisha Cole sound when she goes, love, that's how his voice sound. I swear to God. When y'all go over there, ever listen to Marley Marr the God's voice, y'all gonna be waiting for that part to come out his mouth. Because that's how he talks through the whole segment. So imagine a dude talking like that. I am not lying. I literally be sitting there waiting for that part to come out of his mouth. Because that's how he talks. He's like, I have a master's. But I be waiting for him to be like, love. And I found. I'm not lying. I'm serious. But anyway, Chief Holiday, no, he said, I love, could it be of us once we start kissing? And I found love, love. That's how his voice sounds. I ain't lying, y'all. Don't go over there and be high. Because you're going to know who I'm talking about when this dude opened his mouth. And I'm like, I'm just done. And to hear to hear Chief Holiday arguing with this dude is funny as fuck. Because Chief Holiday, he got the deep voice. Well, wait a minute. Y'all Africans, y'all want to be dashikis. Y'all know how Chief do. Right? So he said, you are not showing any sources. And then the next thing I'm waiting for is love, love. With two of us start kissing. I found. All right. If y'all don't believe me, y'all want me to go and play his voice. I mean, I could put my thing up and just let you hear the voice, and y'all gonna hear what I mean. Y'all want me to do that? Give me a one before we get started, because it's the weekend, and we gonna burn some asses and laugh at some funny shit that I find about these African. Y'all just get ready for it. Okay, I'm gonna go over there and find him right now, and I'm gonna play the voice, and y'all, as soon as y'all hear it, I know you're gonna know because you're going to laugh. Wait a minute, where is his ass at? Let me go over there and find his voice. This shit is funny as fuck. Let me make sure his ass is on the panel. I'm looking for it, y'all. I oh, there it is. I got it. I got him on the panel. I'm just waiting. I'm just looking for when he start talking. Wait a minute, he not. Wait a minute, it's not there. I'm still looking. I'm just. Oh, he jumped his ass off the piano. Wait a minute. This shit is hilarious. Okay, so he jumped off that piano. I know his ass is on another piano. Hang on, y'all. Just give me a minute. Wait a minute. I got him, y'all. I got his ass. Wait a minute. Oh, here we go. Uh-oh, here it. All right, here we go. Let me do a share screen. Y'all is gonna crack the fuck up. Here we go. Let me put my little thing up. This shit is hilarious to me. Remember that song Keisha Cole made? Let me see. I gotta put my thing up. This shit is hilarious. Um, Let me do a share screen. Here we go, y'all.
was saying that you just put in the back?
Okay, here we go.
What is
I'm a,
that?
I'm a, I'm
What
a,
is it
I'm a,
talking about?
I'm gonna break it down. It's, I'm gonna break it down. Hey, I'm gonna holler at you. I'm gonna break it down. Y'all ain't got no time, space for opportunity, right?
And you only got
You
videos. You
scared?
ain't got no paperwork. You ain't got no documentation.
Sir, I'm gonna keep saying this so y'all can understand the words that are coming out of my
Watch this,
motherfucking
y'all.
mouth. I can give
Watch
you
this, y'all.
8,000 books. I can put up 8 billion PDFs. Y'all not accepting nothing.
No, but we
Y'all not
want to
gonna
see
accept nothing.
documents, bro. We want to see documents.
Bro, listen to me. Listen to me closely. All you're gonna do is say,
No.
Or the Aboriginals that came from Australia, the Black Aboriginal
I'm,
people.
I'm absolutely not saying that at all.
Can y'all hear it?
Because
Absolutely.
just not said that the skulls that they found were not European and they were not American Indian.
Can y'all hear it? Give me a 1. Give me a 1. No, you're not going to see it. I just want you to hear it. Okay, good. Listen to his voice. Remember, love. Listen.
So
Okay, so let me break something down for you, right? So right now that we're listening to the BBC, right? And that's why I'm here to break it down. I'm glad you asked the question. So you know what I'm saying? We understand that these are
Oh,
how I
come
want to
on.
say. I told y'all before that they've been hiding this stuff, right? But they also are writing certain terminologies and to confuse people like yourself, right? So once again, when we're talking about ancient people, right? Talking about ancient skeletal remains. All these
Oh, come on.
Watch that shit.
Here we go.
Yeah, we're not saying that how Aboriginals was never here. You know what I'm saying? Or anybody
Love.
but the people who are, here is African. They do have mixture with, have DNA, have Aboriginal in their DNA. I'm not saying no to that, but I'm sure your DNA is more African than Aboriginal. If you take a DNA test.
Love.
Just like how a lot of us here in the Americas in the African diaspora, we're mixed with different, we're mixed because of colonialism, you know what I'm saying? The Native Americans that was here, people mixed with some of the Native Americans, it's been there's been a lot of race mixing going on in the Americas since.
I'm sorry. I can't do it no more. Disgusting. Oh my goodness. But that's the voice, y'all. It's love. Oh my goodness. But anyway, y'all. So let me take this down and let's get into it. So I'm sorry, y'all. Smash the like button, y'all. We got 51, 53 people up in here. So let's get it going. So let's start with, let me see. Let's start with Barbados. Here we go. Share screen. This is Barbados. All right. No goddamn Africans. Let's go. All right. Enslaved person. Now, here we go. Look. Look. Like I told you, color. COLOUR. All right. COLOUR, black. Look at that. All the way down. I went through all this shit. Look at colored, COLOURED. That's skin color. And when you go over here, they are classified as Barbadian, not African. Throw up some goddamn fire for Barbados. This is all their census sheets. Throw up fire for Barbados. I keep telling y'all, they know who to label as an African. If Barbadians was Africans, they would have labeled them as African. They ain't no Africans. These are the same British people who labeled Jamaica. Don't play with me. Barbadians. Same thing with the Virgin Islands. I'm going ready to go there. Let's go. I'm serious. I know who our peeps are, and that's throughout. I could just pick any one of them. I'll pick one with my damn eyes closed. God damn it. Pick anything with my eyes closed. I don't know who I'm picking. Let's see. Just pick a record. Look at this. I'm going to open it up. Look. Don't play with me. We in Barbados. Look, this is a whole different one. Former British colonial dependencies. Color, black. Barbadian. Not African. Do not play with me. Do not. Even over here. Look. All over here. Barbadian. Color, black. Barbadian. Ain't nothing, no African listed nowhere. I'm done. And how many is it there? 580,245 Barbadians. Ain't shit to do with Africa. They're my brothers and sisters. Don't play with me. And this is in 1834. Throw up some damn fire. They're aborigine to that damn landmass. All right. Now where we going to go? Now we going to the Virgin Islands, and that's like St. Kitts and all them shit. Let me stop sharing and do another share screen. I'm not playing with these people. We're going to look at the funny shit. Let me see. Is this? Let's see. Which one is this? British. Wait a minute. I lost track. Let me see. Let's do this one. That's there. We don't want that one. We want this one. Oh, yeah. Now we're going to St. Kitts and St. Croix and shit. There ain't no fucking Africans there either. I'm not playing. I know my peeps. And we going to Haiti. I'm not playing with these damn fools. Now, we are in the West Indies and the Virgin Islands, okay? It's the St. Kitts and Croix. Put it all together. Now, look. They don't even classify them. Laborer. Look, laborer, unmarried, 3. Look it. I'm about to pull up that goddamn sheet. Look. No Africans. None. No African nowhere. 28 years old. Religion, church, none of them. Laborer, head of house. Laborer. No African nowhere. Throw up some damn... Man, I'm not playing with these damn people. I can click on any of them. Let me click on this one. Look at that. This is never go by this. This is St. Croix. All right. Look at no Africans. None. None. Just their job. Nothing. Look at this. Born St. Croix, St. Thomas, St. Croix. Look at this. No Africans. None. That's all that's over there is Indians in this bitch. That's it. Man, don't even play with me. Now let's go to Haiti. This is some funny shit. They don't even have it for Haiti. Throw up some fire for St. Croix, St. Kitts. Tell me them Indians. That's exactly what they are. And we're going to get our laugh on with Haiti. Haiti is nothing but fierce Indians over there. You know, damn Africans. Yo, they don't even have it for Haiti. Look, all I needed to see was the bottom of this shit. Look, burning of the Plain du Cap. Massacre of whites by blacks on August 22nd, 1791. Haiti don't play that shit. No Africans nowhere. Throw up some damn fire for Haiti, old black. You can't make this shit up. Yo, you can't make this up. Damn. They don't play. This is executor. They own their shit. The will of Margaret Ficker, Grove Terrace, Kent House, in Lower Sydenham in County of Kent, widow who died on November 23rd, 1873 at 1 Grove Terrace, proved at the principal registry by Amy Margaret Wake of Pittsford House in Parish of Pittsford in County of Northampton. Man, please don't even play with Haiti. I'm done. I done went through. Look, I done went through all the islands. Yo, you can't make this shit up. Oh my goodness. Let me see. Let's go here. Now, and I did a hard search. And now, like I told y'all, and y'all ain't gonna like this shit. The same British people, all of them was by British. They knew who the African was. They knew who. Well, they didn't change them to African when they got to the United States because the United States don't never label us on their census sheets as Africans. Never. Not in the 1800s, ever. The only people who were clearly, look, you can't make this bullshit up. I'm not going to keep playing. Here we go. Look, the British knew what they were doing and to who. The only play, and British did it for Haiti. They did it for St. Croix, St. Kitts, Barbados. They said who they were. But when they got to Jamaica, baby, oh, it's a different thing. We know where them goddamn slave ships went. African. That's where they went. And both databases is totally different. We're over in Jamaica. We done went over in Haiti. I'm not playing. Listen. That's why they are the way they are to us. Out of all the islands, British islands, The only ones who were classified as Africans were Jamaicans. And if they brought other, the people that were there were Creole, spoke Creole. They could have shipped them in from another island to work over there in Jamaica. But they were very clear on who the Jamaican is, who the African is. I'm sorry. And if you got a problem, if anybody look from Jamaica, hey, look, this is what I tell you. This is what I tell you. I done went through all the islands, the British islands. Okay? The same British people. They did not classify anybody in St. Croix, St. Kitts, Barbados. I even did Cuba. No Africans noted. Listen, when British did Jamaica in the same years, they labeled those that were truly African. That's a fact. I didn't do this. The United States didn't do it. The United States have nothing to do with British-owned islands during that time. So if people of Jamaica say that they are Indian and indigenous, they have to correct that with the Jamaican government. The Jamaican government. United States don't own the Jamaican government. And I even tried to look other places. So this is why if there was Arawak, they would have named him Arawak. United States is no longer a British colony. 13 colonies was the only British colonies here. Those 13. They're no longer, in the 1800s, the first census after the so-called Revolutionary War was the 1790 census. Prior to, 1776, the 13 colonies was owned by the British. Yeah. So fast forward to our so-called 1790 census, none of the people here were labeled as Africans ever on any of the census sheets. There might have been one or two or three, and we're going to go there because I did a hard manipulation search for Africans in the United States during those days. And let's take a laugh at what we got. This shit is funny, y'all. Let's see. Okay, so we got that one. This shit is funny. We're going to play around with it now. I'm closing all the other records. We don't got to go there. You've seen it. You want to see it again? We're going to play now in the United States. Now, I did a search, right? Let me go back. This is some funny shit. Now, I did what you call a hard search for African and United States history all the way, and I censored it from 1660 all the way to 1820, looking for an African in the United States between 1660 and 1820. I'm looking for an African. Look, yo, you can't make this shit up. All right, here we go, y'all. You can't make this shit up. Supposedly, there's 5. Look, literally 5. They found 5, right? On the 1800 census. But here's the funny shit, y'all. You can't make this shit up. Only 5 with this search. 5. From 1660. See over here? See my filter? I'll make it bigger. Let me make this shit bigger. Here's my filter sort. Look over here, y'all. I looked from 1660 to 1820 U.S. and it only came up with 1800s. It's saying 1700s, right? So look at, I did a search. Look what Ancestry tried to do. Just the funny shit, y'all. I'm telling y'all. Now, this is what Ancestry wrote in here. I go to click here. Look, there's no fucking record, yo. No record. I'm clicking to try to get the record. There's no record. Then I look for the name, Negro, right? Gender, male, color, African American, black, New Jersey, Middlesex County. This shit is funny. Look, look, name on petition, February 12th, 1795, to the Governor Council and General Assembly from inhabitants in and about the vicinity of Spotswood, Middlesex County, seeking approval for a lottery to raise, and that ends it right there. Yo, Ancestry put this shit in. There's no record. Let's go back. You can't make this shit up. Let me see. Let me see if the thing turns back. Okay, it turned back. Now I looked at that one. Now let's look at this one. This shit is funny. Black Cyrus. Here it is, right? I click over here. No record. No record, y'all, right? Then his name is Black Cyrus with a question mark. Get your fucking laugh on. A male. They said he's African American. And this year, African American. Yo. All right. In 1770, y'all, this is the resident year. 1770. He was an African American. Yo. We didn't even have a United States. I'm done. There's no record. And he's supposed to be in New Jersey, Burlington County. Now look at this shit. Household remarks for this Black Cyrus who's African American. Yo. Acres of land, 0. Horses and cattle, 0. Servants and slaves, 0. Single man with horse, 0. Single man, 0. Vessels, 0. Merchant, 0. Grist mills, 0. Brew houses, 0. Ferries, coaches, two-wheel chase, 0. Yo, they said, nigga, you ain't getting shit. You ain't got nothing. You can't make this shit up. One African from 1660 to 1820. And this is in the year of 1770. African American in New Jersey. Yo. Jesse Jackson must have slipped up way back then. Let's go back. We're going to go through all 5 of them. Now, here's this George Augusta. Again, no goddamn record. George, African American, from Georgia, Richmond County, in 1790. Right? What? That's when the first census. Where the census? No record. Petition July 17, 1793 to Governor Edward Telfair from citizens of Augusta, Richmond County, seeking a pardon for George, Negro, belonging to Robert Force, Esquire, after his open, candid, and sincere. Wait, now he's a Negro. How'd he get be okay up here? He's an African American, all right, in 1790. Then when you get down here to read the remarks, he's a Negro in Georgia. Get your fucking laugh. You know what? You can't make this shit up. Okay, that's record. Now we got Oklahoma. We're going to do all 5 records. No info in Oklahoma. Look. Now check this out. A slave, male, African American. Let's see what year this is. 1820. It's an African American. Okay. Listen, y'all. December 3rd, from Matthew Arbuckle to Edmund P. Gaines. Sir, Mr. Antoine, Barack, an Indian trader. Indian trader. All right. Sir Antoine Barack, an Indian trader, arrived here on the 29th. Alto, who reports, and I have doubt of the verify of his statement, that he was encamped on the Dele Blue, a branch of the Red River, about 170 or 180 miles from this post, where he had 11 or 12 hunters, principally half-breed Quapaw Indians. Yo, throw up some goddamn fire. Quapaw Indians. That he was joined by a Mr. Wellborn and 7 other Americans, and that their camp was attacked on the 17th by 80 or 100 Osage Indians who shot down 4 of the Americans and badly wounded 2 others and a Negro. The other property of the barrack. There is every reason to believe that the wounded have since died, if they were not immediately killed by the Indians who pursued them when the sick left the camp. The rest of the party is supposed to escape unhurt, although the remaining 2 of Mr. Wilburn's party have not since been heard of. They killed were Messrs. Wilburn, Sloan, Detterland, and Robert Luster, those who were wounded and have doubtless since died when Messrs. Pennington and Sloan were missing. The last name of the 2 missing are sons of Mr. Sloan, who was killed in the camp. It is probable many more would have been killed had they not been absent at the time of the attack. Signed, M. Arbuckle, Colonial Major General E.P. Gaines, West Department, Louisville, Kentucky. P.S. I have this moment to receive advice that the three Sloans have returned to their home. Signed, M.A. True copy. Now this is in Oklahoma, Arkansas Territory, 1820. And this is a letter from Matthew Arbuckle to Edmund Gaines regarding an attack by Osages on the Party of America. Yo, I told y'all this shit, you can't make it up. All right, that was that one. Let's see. We almost done. I think it's this one. Richmond County, Augusta. Oh no, we did this one. Did we do this one? Oh no, we did that one. Now what about this one? Now here we go again. I think this is the last one. No record. James Cook, male, African American, y'all, in Georgia in 1790. To Governor Edward Telfair from Abraham Leggett of Savannah, Chatham County, seeking mercy for a young and very valuable slave he owns named James Cook. All right? They got the same goddamn, man, I'm done. Has been sentenced to death for stealing. James Cook was stealing. So tell me this is a white guy who was stealing. He requests that the punishment be changed to transportation for life from the United States of America. Attached to the petition is a document signed by assumed residents of Chatham County, certifying the good character of Abraham Leggett and recommending that his petition be granted. This is in Savannah. Yo, these is niggas. So you can't make this up. So let me just do a let me do a I'm gonna do just a damn search. Let me see. What the hell? Let's just do. I'm gonna pick any state. Alabama. All right. Now, this has 1,328,688,850. Now, let me go to the census. All right. I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to go to the damn 1800. See what we got. Oh. Let me censor it to what it might be. I just want to filter it out. Let me see. Let's go down here. Let's see if we can get Negro. Okay. What? No. All right. Here we go. 1880. This is 1880. All right. Race. All B's. No Africans. Farm laborer. Let's get their top titles. Over here, let's see. All B's. Okay, the whites is on the top. No Africans. Look, their parents, Alabama. Their parents born in South Carolina. All these people, parents born in South Carolina. They was born in Alabama. So you could take 20 years off of 1880, get you back to 1860. Let's go. Let's look. Let's go back. Let's see if I can pull an 1860 census. See what happens. Let's see what they got. Damn. Got a book. We just ain't got shit on it. Look. Male. Look. Male Negroes. Why they call them Africans? Nothing. All I see on the top is male Negroes. I'll go out of there. Let's try to find a better one. These books are horrible. Alabama. This ain't nothing but Indians in 1850. Nothing but Indians. Look. Bib. Henny Gladden. Negro. Let's look at the damn book. Negroes. And then they got females. 129. Number of people. Look, this shit, you can't make it up. Let me see. What we got here? That's just a count. Had good one number. Let me see. 1, 3, females are over here. No slaves. No slaves. Ben Jones, Peter Jones. This is a family on a goddamn farm. No Negroes. Now let's go up in some later years. Do they got anything more than the 1850? Let's see if we can go. Let's try the 1880s. All right. I hope this is a better one. Okay, this is better. Look, look, black. Somebody put in black, American Indian Negro. Look. All right, this whole column is all blacks. Families of households, head of households, on their thing. Look at here. Farmers, son, wife, daughter, no slave master. Farm. All right. It's a freaking rap. We were not classified or named as African. Look, somebody tried to update this shit. They put American Indian, Irish, Negro. You can't make this shit up. In our state, let's try another state. Let me edit it just this to another state. Let's do I could do Kentucky. Let's do Kentucky. All right, we got Kentucky. Let's see what Kentucky's records look like. Let's do 1840. Damn. Oh, this is good. Look at this shit. Census. This says Minnesota. Female. Oh, yeah. Why they got this in the wrong? They say Minnesota. They got this record all mixed up. Let's do I say Kentucky. Let me exact it to Kentucky. See what happens. Oh, because at that time, that's right, it was part of Indian territory. Oh, sookie, sookie. Oh, thank you for the cash app. Oh, you're so sweet. Let me see. Y'all, thank you for the cash app. That's just too sweet, y'all. Oh, thank you. No, Chief, girly, never, not at all. Now look, Frank Irvin Chapman, male, females. This is their household. This is something else. I didn't even select a seat. Kentucky is and was Indian territory too. Head of household. Wow. See, when you come over here on the mainland, and I didn't even select Oklahoma. Look at Ludwell Cook. We did the Cook guy. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, Sookie is talking now. Oliver Jenny. This is Indian census roll. Oh. 1/4 blood. All of it's full. Look at uh Francis, Maddie B, Charcoal. Now, if your damn last name is Charcoal, your ass is black. Birdie E, Birdie Charcoal. These are black people, full blood. Yo, throw up some goddamn fire. I'm done. I didn't even expect to find this. I'm done. I'm done. Ancestors take your ass. So that means his kid ran away. I'm done. Damn. Yo. I'm done. Listen, y'all. And I ain't gonna be on here long. But as you can see, none of our census takers classified anybody. Yeah, the old states. I could do a search of that next time. Our census takers never classified us as African at all, because we're not. I'm speaking mainland within these 50 state boundaries. And you better believe that to the core of your being. The British colonies, though, listen, just like Jamaica was a British colony back in those days, you're talking 1700 census, 30, 40, 50, 60s. They labeled them as African. When they got over to their other islands, like St. Croix, St. Kitts, Barbados, and then when you even look into Haiti, they didn't classify them at all. They called them the Indian or whoever they were, Barbadian. They labeled them people African. And I think, I'm sorry. I mean, it's like really weird when you're separating Creole from African. So this is why, and from what I'm researching, I'm not reading those scholars' damn book, because that's their opinion and their personal research. I'm doing my own research. And this government did not label us as African because we are not. If we were African, they would have labeled us. They had many years to do so. 1790, 1800, 1810, 1820, 1830, 1840, 1850, 1860, 1870, 1880, 1890, 1900, 1910, all the way up to this date. If we were Africans in any of those years, we would have been put down as Africans. But the thing they cannot do is label us as that, because we were here before they got here. This is why they can't do it. Now, when you get to Jamaica, they know where they got their people from. They do. And I'm going to stand on this. And I said, this is why they stand on who they are. But the one things that Jamaicans have to understand, we're not them. And that's not being hateful. We are not them. Just because we have brown skin does not make us the same people. We have brown skin. There's people with brown skin all over the world. Even in India, there's people in India with my complexion. But that doesn't mean we're the same people. In these four corners of these 50 states, our ancestors were never classified as African. I searched a billion records, billions, couple of billions, and did a hard search. I even abbreviated it. There is no, and they only came up with 5 records. So what they did, they created a separate census. This is how you know you can't do that and call it slave voyage, whatever. No, you can't do that shit because they're not original records. You cannot do that in court. It will not fly. This is why we tell you, not as a being of this soil in the 50 states. This is why we tell you, do not take the ancestry test. It's a test to put you out of this land. So let the foolish people that are taking that exam take it. That's the goal. You better believe if we were Africans, these foreigners here that are in power and our government would know it. They don't even like taking the ancestry test. Government officials, politicians, they talk about the fakeness in it all the time. But it's up to us to educate our children. Any brown guy or black guy from Jamaica, my kid's not going to your school. You're not going to teach my child that he's African because you are, and you are able to prove it based on British documents. I'm not a British subject, and I never have been. And thousands of Pookie and Ray Rays, our babies, are not Africans. Never been classified as Africans. Our lineage leads us only to this land. But when you get to Jamaicans, unfortunately, your ancestors' green card and ship records leads you back to Jamaica, which doesn't make you indigenous within this part of the soil. And then when you do get to your soil in Jamaica, your records lead you to Africa. Now, if Jamaicans have an issue with that, and they are truly the Arawaks or Tainos, then they have to correct that with their Jamaican government. They have to go to their Jamaican government and say, hey, I'm not African. I'm an Arawak or I'm a Taino. That's who their fight is with. The British government, the Jamaican government at this point. There's nothing that United States can do about that. I can't even do nothing whether I'm a U.S. citizen or not. Totally different governments. So I'm going to play a song and wait for you guys to get up here. I want to hear your thoughts about that. So when you're on the islands, St. Croix, St. Kitts, Haiti, Barbados, they're not classified as Africans. The British didn't classify them as Africans because they're not. They're not. They're indigenous to those lands. Some of them over there are even can trace back to this soil. People from Barbados, St. Croix, St. Kitts. Nothing we could do. I even checked Bahamas. No Africans. You're right. You are right, Quella. I'm gonna give y'all a minute to come up here because you can't make this shit up. So now, now I see the attitude. I never understood Jamaicans' attitudes with us as a people because of who we are and why there's no energy connection with us and them and us and Africans because we're not them. Vibes connect with vibes. If I sit with somebody from Barbados, I don't feel a Jamaican. I feel literally a Negro like me. Same thing with Haiti. St. Croix, St. Kitts. And they literally, and Barbadians, they get pissed when you call them Jamaicans. They're not, because they know they're not Africans. I'm going to give y'all a minute to get on up here and tell me what you think about this because I'm still studying. I'm still studying this, and my conclusions ain't looking good for Jamaicans. And I see why those people over in Q Butter's channel just despise us. And that's why. That's why. But not my problem, honey. Not my problem. But let's give you a minute to get up here. Oh. After Sister Betty, let me put the link in the chat. Paste. Tap that damn link and come on up and visit me. I'll come to you after this song is over. I want to drink some water.
Yeah. Conscious. Matic. Alright, so far away I come from. I sit and wonder about the times that it made sense. But nowadays I don't worry about what's past tense. My younger days I used to hang around with mad friends. If we just fell out, I don't really know what happened. A lot of people come around and keep you stagnant, distraction. So you don't show them no compassion. We was really out here grinding, really rapping, stacking them Franklins, them Grants and them Jacksons. Imagine if we would've never chased our passion. We probably would've never knew what happened. They was all just talk, we showed action. Once they leave, don't you let them back in. Just pack up all their stuff and send them packing. I'm blacking on anybody thinking they could act up with me. This vibe ain't for free, cause where I'm at in life, I'm only focused on me. Note the self, know yourself, focus on your health. They don't wanna help, then fuck it, do it by yourself. Don't give them no excuse to put you on the shelf. If it's me, myself, and I, then it's no one else. Yeah. Self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Yeah, practice what you preaching, but clearly they not practicing entitlement and pride. Yeah, those two things they factor in. Spiral out of control just from all the bantering. When they accustomed to talking behind your back with all that chattering, I remove myself before I abuse myself. Talk about self-love, but you gotta do it yourself. Yeah, I won't act too good for no help. We all healing now. Said some things about me that ain't true. How you feeling now? Even at my lowest, they tried to find a way to bring me down. Big y'all up for years, ain't talking just the brand or the sound. I don't throw things around, I do it from the heart proud. Mama just wanna see her sunshine, removing them dark clouds.
Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Yeah, self-love is the best love. It's the people who always give that never get love. They ain't real enough to probably say they messed up. Just let it go and make the best of it. Love yourself.
Right now, I don't know what y'all got to say about that. So, this explains why they're strong believers of evolution. Maybe there is the monkey mans. I don't believe in evolution. I'll never believe in that. I'm too damn cute. Come on, ain't no goddamn monkey. So I don't know. Anybody got it? Anybody got something to say? The link is in the chat. What are your thoughts? I mean, am I right in my? I'm not concluding. Is that you, Smoke? Okay, got you. I mean, I'm trying to come up with. I'm not gonna fully come up with my conclusions, bro, yet, but it's really pointing to who the Africans are. And if you're talking about a slave voyage coming to the Americas, then and they were brought to the islands because when they got there, they thought they were in India, but they were in the West Indies. They did not come here where the 50 states sit. They did not. They brought them there. And that explains why they have so many millions in Jamaica and literally took the time out to write down that they're African. Because number one, to me, Jamaicans do look African. They look African. They dance like them. Their culture is like them. They cook like them. They look like them. I'm sorry. They just do not look like us. I'm sorry. I relinquish. You got it, Smoke.
I love what you just showed right there. You brought up the five that they say they had, and they wasn't even referenced as being African. That was astonishing to me. And
yeah,
it still goes back to the same. So now I'm starting to see a trend here, a pattern, and it's like until that book, that religious book, hit over here, that's when people start changing their names into any kind of names out of that book, and tried to go along with their ideology and theology.
Yeah.
So now we see the fuckery. It's over with.
I pull up Kentucky.
Nothing.
Why I get Oklahoma?
Because that's
and the dude whose slave ran away.
Because that was, like you said, that's all Indian territory, all the way up to Detroit, Michigan, and Chicago. That's all of that. That whole Midwest.
Yes. That's crazy.
No, it's not. They wasn't walking into that Midwest like that's fertile land.
Yep. We have a very distinct look from them. If I seen him, I would never classify him as an African.
Don't have them facial structures.
No, that's an Indian.
That's an Indian nigga.
Yep. The features, there's nothing about him that looks Jamaican. I mean, he could pass for somebody in the Virgin Islands, but that's this land right here. And down here in my state, Puerto Ricans look like that.
Mm-hmm.
Facts. Puerto Ricans.
And you better not call no Puerto Rican no Mexican.
Word.
You better not do
they
that.
Don't like that. But wait a minute. Mexicans down here look like this too.
Yeah.
Don't sleep that now. Mexicans down here look just like this. You wouldn't know it until they talk with their accent. I keep telling y'all, the Aborigines to this land, it's something about their energy and their feature. Your energy, positive energy connects with positive energy. And if I walk next to a Mexican and that energy is there, you know they're Aboriginal. It's something about energy. It's something in the body that it's like your body's a fucking detector of who is Aborigine to this land. Hey, Marigolds. Karma, hey now. There is something in energy that it's because what we're learning in these YouTube streets, the soil, there's something that connects you with the next indigenous person from this soil. And that's like real weird.
Hey, Sister Bethany, I want you to give me like 2 seconds. I got a guy coming with my processed deer.
Okay.
I'm about to give me some deer meat real quick. Hold on.
Okay. But I'm just saying, y'all, when you walk by people and you're in their presence, and Amani, the diva, teaches me about this shit too, this energy shit. And it's freaking real. And I do know, and I know if you're Aboriginal to this land, you know the feeling that I'm talking about. You don't even have to know a person, but your energy is something in our energy that knows that they're from this soil, that's reciprocated from this soil. And that's a fact. If I stand, and I'm not being funny, when I stand in front of an African or by one, it's something in our energy, in our body, that know that that species is not from this soil. And it's not a bad thing. It's just something that we have naturally. And I'm sure if I go over in Africa, they feel the same way. Same thing. Like, I don't know. Yo, you're from this soil. You're from this soil. All the plants and everything that reciprocates in this soil knows it to be naturally here. And that's a fact. And I get that feeling. We all do, that are Aborigines, us Negroes here. We all get that feeling. And that's what the feeling is. It's the combination of the natural species of this soil. That's it. This is why it's so important for us to understand our body, because our body knows its surroundings. We don't even have to look. It really, there's a lot we need to learn about our bodies.
That's because we're native to the land.
We all say it. Oh, I get a bad feeling about her. Then it's the truth. Our nanas used to always say that. I don't know. I get a bad feeling about this person or that. And what it is, you better believe it. It's called gut instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And I know when somebody is from here and not from here.
I'm starting to think that we just became a little bit too much trustworthy of these foreigners.
Yeah.
That's what I'm starting to see now. Because we lended out our help. We lended out the way to do things on this land. And inevitably, they circumvented and took over what we had. It's like we got to, like you said, we need to start going back to our gut feeling about people.
Yeah. And that's the real problem in YouTube. And you know, Smoke, I watch our brothers' channels, all of our brothers. I watch, you know it, I watch Chief Channel.
Yeah.
I watch App Power. I still watch App TV. I just stay quiet. I watch Empress Hobart. I watch all these channels. And the only people that really give us problems, they're of Jamaican descent. The ones that are brown.
Yeah.
And
envious.
Now, for a long time, they have been in Jamaica. And Top Cats teaches about these Black Europeans, which I know them to be African. And even if they're from out of British. And then I get to thinking, because they've been coming in and out of the mainland here from Jamaica, even back in the day. And I believe our ancestors, our Indians, did business with them. And I'm still studying this, but remember when Chief Kanasatago had the meeting and he stood up, because the white Europeans and these black uh, Europeans were arguing over land in, I believe it was Maryland, and Chief Conestoga stood up and said that something to the extent of our ancestors have been here for thousands of years, and the black Europeans said that, well, we've been in Maryland for 100 years, and they thought it was theirs. And the Indian Chief Conestoga stood up and said, you have land claims, but your land claims are beyond the seas.
Exactly.
You remember that?
Yeah.
Now, I'm starting to think, that we probably did do business, and it was just bad blood, and that those were Jamaicans. Because when you're saying beyond the seas, could he mean Africa or Jamaica?
He could have been saying West Indies as well, because those was all British colonies.
Yeah.
It could have been anywhere that those people came from, or where they did settlements other prior than these here Americas. You got claims across the pond. You don't have no claim on stake of nothing here. Sorry, sir.
Beyond your land claims. He said you got land claims, but your land claims are beyond the seas.
Yep.
So if he's saying beyond the seas, I wonder if that shit was Jamaica. Turok, you have to turn on your camera back there. If I can't see who you are, I'm not letting you on my panel. I got to see who you are back there to make sure that you're not coming up here to let me see you again. Let it go a little longer, because I want to make sure ain't no little teeny old 12-year-old wee gonna fly out. Turok, turn it on. I'm not gonna let you on the panel yet. I'll make sure you have your camera off. Just sit there for 1 second. All right, I see you. Okay, you can turn it off. I'm just gonna play it safe. You can turn it off now. I'll let you up. Let's see. I gotta put up my safety thing. StreamYard and YouTube told me to do this.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me let him up. How are you? Hello?
You have to click on your mic, sir.
Can't hear you. It says your guest Turok is on. We have an Android Chrome, which has a bug that causes echo. Please ask your guest to wear headphones. Hello? Yeah, you might have to go out and come back on, Turok, because it's not, we can't hear you. But go ahead, brother Smoke.
Just what you were saying, that when he said that you have state land of beyond the seas, he was saying from Europe. He was saying from any of these colonies that y'all come from, you can say whatever you like. Your land is over there. It's not here. You can't claim something that you have no business claiming. He was absolutely correct.
And that sound like two. All right, try it again. Take off your you got to put headphones on, it's asking. Or your microphone is not playing. Did you give it access to your mic? Your mic is muted. Hey, Ali Bamu.
Good evening, Queen Mother. How are you and Straight Smoke?
I'm good. Hey. How about you?
How you doing, sir?
I just have
Peace
a question. Excellent, my young brother. I just have a question, not to divert your conversation, but it's just a question that's nagging me, because if either of you are familiar, I think he's referred to as Cenk Uyghur.
Cenk yogurt, yeah. Young Turks.
Uygher. Yeah, the Young Turks.
Young Turks.
Did you hear? Yes. Did either of you hear about how he's being allowed to run as a naturalized citizen for the president? By the way, for the president of the United States.
I'll take
Were
that with a
you
grain of
aware of that?
salt. I'll take it. I'll take it with a grain of salt. He's not going to be able to do anything by no means.
Oh, that would be like saying the same thing about Rico. I'm just saying
Come
though,
on,
were you
man.
aware of that? How about you, Queen Mother?
I don't. What was the question again, sweetheart? I'm sorry.
He's being allowed to run as a naturalized citizen for the president of the United States. Now, I don't
Oh, he
want to
won't.
divert the conversation. I just thought you might have an interesting response to what that means and proves that this is a foreign criminal enterprise and they will decide and allow other foreigners to
Well,
run
that's
for the
kind of
highest
weird
office.
because in the Constitution, that
Got
won't fly because you have to be born here, and that
yeah,
will be caught. You have
yeah.
to be
Now,
born here.
what his response to that was that it will be determined by the courts if he were to win. But according to the Federal Elections Commission, that it does not prevent naturalized citizens from running for office. That was what his response to such a challenge that you just stated. And you're probably correct, Grandmother, because again, it says natural born, not native.
That's
Probably
right.
have to go back and look at exactly what it does say in the Constitution and 35. Those are the only two requirements for running for the President of the United States.
Right.
So what's interesting is now people are questioning Ted Cruz. You do know actually he was born in Canada. He's also a Cuban, but he was born in Canada. But I gather you can consider that North America.
Oh, absolutely. Canada is North America.
Okay. Well,
Remember,
the
we put.
alleged thing
Remember, they
was
put up the imaginary lines, and you have
well,
to be a natural born, not native born.
okay. So I just wanted to bring that point up if you wanted to think about it. Again, I don't want to divert the conversation. Y'all keep chopping up. I'll chime in.
So, Tarak, I don't know what's going on with your mic.
Hello.
Oh, now I can hear you.
Oh, greetings, greetings. I'm from the UK.
Hey,
Oh, yeah, big up to everybody and things like that. It's a good topic you're talking on. I just wanted to chime in a bit.
sure.
By all means, sir. Welcome. Peace and salute to
Oh,
you.
thank you, thank you. Basically, I'm from the Caribbean. Like I got like Saint Lucian, which is like Lesser Antillean, and Jamaican heritage from the Greater Antilles. And I can understand where you're coming from. So
Okay.
it's a very mixed sort of multitude of of a place. And I think a lot of the arguments what a lot of people do get with say Caribbean folk is probably maybe similar what like you might get with people from the south, how they might look at people in the north. So even in England, where we got relatives from Jamaica or the Caribbean, they look at us like we're sort of privileged. So it's more of a, not to say a jealousy, but they look at it in a way that we're kind of spoiled or we're kind of soft. So and where they're coming from is like totally different. So it's more of a mindset what I feel people might not grasp and understand and not sort of understand.
So let me ask you this: how do you say your name? I want to pronounce it right.
This Turok,
Tarak. Oh, that's nice. Nice name.
yeah.
So you're from the UK. Are you from England or are you British? I mean, where are you
Basically I'm from London. Like my grandparents came up in the early or the late 40s, I should say.
from? Where?
Saint Lucia and Jamaica.
Okay. So
Mhm.
so you being prior to being in Jamaica, I mean, are you in is your family line strictly from Jamaica prior to them coming up in the 1900s? Is that where they've always been or were they somewhere else?
To be honest, some are and some not. Like I've got also Indian heritage. I think I might have some African heritage and also some Scottish and Irish. But
Okay.
I think on my grandfather's mother's side, she was indigenous, and I think maybe her husband or whoever it was, or her grandparents was Portuguese.
Okay. Okay. So you
Wow.
have
But
some indigenous history in Jamaica.
yeah, I would say so. I hope
So
so.
that being either Taino or Arawak. And you know what? Thanks. Shout out to you for coming up, keeping it real.
Mm,
Um,
Most definitely.
but yeah, so I was showing those census sheets how in Jamaica the British government actually labeled some of the people African because that's who they are, and
mm.
the other ones they labeled them as Creole. You have any knowledge of that? Why they would name them Creole?
Creole's a different one for me. Maybe I'm not sure. I don't think the English really used the term mulatto, so maybe that's what they were trying to say, or people that's probably been there for a very long time from
That's
maybe
what I'm thinking. They're probably the
when the
indigenous
Spanish,
people.
as well, because I'll be honest that the English were very sort of ignorant. Like when you look at all the different Western European countries like France and Holland and Spain, you can see the different types of mindsets they had when they came to the Americas and how they treated certain individuals or people in a sense. When the British came, they were like the last to the party. So when they
Hmm.
came there, they're basically trying to label everything African.
And
There it
came
is.
Because
the British came to where when they came to where?
the Americas, I think they first landed either Antigua or Bermuda, then Montserrat, then later on they went to Jamaica, but they had a stronghold in like Barbados and in the Lesser Antilles from like Dominica going all the way down to maybe Grenada. They used to fight with the French, so it used to be a swap of who owned what and who owned what to like up to the 1800s.
Right. I checked those records in Barbados and those other islands that you named, and they're naming them as who they actually are. They didn't even name them as Africans. The only
Mm,
ones the British named as Africans are the Jamaicans. Nobody else in the islands, their islands were named as Africans, which is
I'm,
weird.
I'm kind of surprised for Barbados because
Yeah,
like
Barbados, they didn't. Nope, they just called them Barbadian, not African.
yeah, because like obviously like when we look at geography, Barbados would be like a resting stop for them to go to other parts of the Caribbean from the Atlantic. So I would have thought maybe Barbados would have been more, one could say, very heavily populated with Africans. I would say.
No, not in this instance. And I checked multiple years from like I they go back to 1600, 1700, 1800, and they would call them, they not once named them any of them. St. Croix, Virgin Islands, none of them. The only
Mm,
people, according to these records, that the British literally named as Africans are the Jamaicans, nobody else.
yeah,
And
it's
and
a
the
different it's
original
a
French are Canadian. So
mm,
and they didn't name their people as Africans either.
mm, it's a difficult one because it depends where they were in Jamaica. Like I went to school in Jamaica for over say over 2 years, so I've learnt
Hmm.
the history there and the parishes and certain things and know the landscape in a sense. So it's a bit different because like where you're in like a town or where they're more established, like Montego Bay, Kingston, Spanish Town, maybe
Hmm.
places like Clarendon, they will be very strong on the census. But like when you go up to the north, like Portland, St. Mary, and Trelawney, St. Anne's is very, very country and very like mountainous and hilly, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like in a world of its own in a sense like that. And a lot of those people, I don't know how, if there were a census, how they would have gotten a census, if you know what I mean.
Um, I don't know about that particular area. I just did like I just did a filter sort for
No,
strictly Jamaica, and so I didn't get
no, but
any other. I'm sorry.
no, but you know what I mean. Like in say like in the deep south, there's some places where obviously there are black people and they have their little villages and certain things like that, but they're not to say they're not on a census record, they're not known of probably by the church and certain things like that, but they're just away from a lot of paperwork, one could say.
Mm. Well, I do believe, as far as Britain and England, I do believe that the original people there looked like you.
Mm. Oh,
The
black?
yes.
I'm not too sure about that, to be honest. I can imagine that there were some people that
Well,
a small
Saxons,
number,
not the Saxons, but the original people that were in power there, like
like
where
the
the
Celts
Queen of
and things like
England.
that.
Yeah, I really believe the original people that were in power there look like you.
To be honest though, like with Britain, Britain got colonized by the Romans very, very early. And
Okay.
like they even said like in this Roman army they had like different types of people, black Africans, Arabs, and because it's if you look back into time, like Rome is what probably New York is or London is today with a multitude of different ethnic groups. So a lot of these people at that time to have high ranking and status, you would have joined the army. So in British history, there's talked about certain black people that was in the Roman army, and
Hmm.
some of them had high rankings. So I think some of those people probably stayed in Britain to, one could say, conduct business or keep the empire going and certain things, and they sort of basically blended in with the people. But I'm not too sure about Europe or especially England or Ireland being that black, to be honest, and Scotland.
Well, I think
I'm not saying
you're
there wasn't,
no. I know. I think you're really on point with what you're saying because I did forget about the Saxons. They're saying the Saxons were um um white people, but
yeah.
when you get over to like Africa, of course, that's black and tawny, Asia,
Mm.
Europe, the Spaniards, Italians, the French, the Russians, Sweden is swarthy, and the Germans too. So that's why I was, you know, thinking that
I
Britain
know what you
was,
mean,
yeah, was originally
but we
ruled
have
by
to
it.
think though,
Hmm.
what were they calling black at that time?
I think they
Because
were actually who they were. Like if you're in
because
England, like were the original Saxons black people? Were the when you're saying Britain, you're saying Irish. You're saying who else? Irish,
Welsh,
Welsh.
Scottish, but
Yeah,
they was broke
I'm
up
hearing
into
that they were
kingdoms. They
okay.
were all broke. They had all had their kingdoms. Like Cornwall would have been its own place. In the
Mm,
middle would have been something called Mercia. Um, Essex or Sussex would have been its own sort of patch, if you know what I
okay.
mean, like its own sort of state. So what happened with the Anglos or the Anglo-Saxons? They defeated a lot of these different tribes,
Hmm.
and the Welsh are the most indigenous people to England or the land of the British Isles. So what they
Okay.
done is united all the tribes. So this is
Uh
how it
huh.
became a united kingdom, and a lot of the people that rebelled, Like, have you ever seen Braveheart?
Yep.
Yes.
All right, you see those type of people now. They're the ones they sent to the Americas and the Caribbean because they didn't want them on the British Islands anymore. So like,
Okay.
there
So
was a person called Oliver Cromwell that exiled these people to like North America and the Caribbean.
Oh.
That's why
eh,
if you look at certain people's names in the Americas and the Caribbean, they've all got coats of arms, like they're proper
Mm,
clans, like they're from real tribal people in Scotland and Ireland and things like that.
mm. You were born in where? Where were you
England,
born? In England.
England,
Okay,
yeah.
so you're very culturally England. I see a huge difference between England and Jamaica. Your accent, you're very culturally England, but your family came from Jamaica, you're
Was
saying, right?
yeah. It's it's a different sort of thing because when my ancestors came over to England, we was categorized as British. Then up to I think it might have been the 70s, they gave Jamaican certain islands their independence. So once the
Uh-huh.
clocks hit 12, they were no longer British, basically, in a sense like that. So it's
that
sort of
would be
it's a different
believed.
sort. Yeah, but it's a different type of generation. You get people that they call the Windrush people that came to Britain very early, like 50s, 60s. Then you get the newer Jamaicans that came in the 80s, 90s, and 2000s, and most of them they classify them as yardies, but they're not all that
Classify them as
sort of
what? Yar
yardies,
Honest.
what is
yardies,
that? Spell that.
like Yardie, like a yardie, like shower posse, and but not all of them is gang related or criminal, but they just call them the yardies because when the Windrush people came, we was from all different parishes, but the ones that come later on, like in the 80s, 90s, probably even to America, they all come from Kingston, majority of them.
Oh, yardy. Okay.
Mm.
It says it's a term often used, particularly within the Caribbean expatriate and Jamaican diaspora, to refer to people of Jamaican origin. Oh,
Yeah,
yardies.
yeah, so they always say like, well, I'm going back a yard,
And
like
that's a
meaning they're going back
borderline
home.
slur, is it not? Is that considered an
A
ethnic
hu-
slur?
100% because it was mostly the police. Well, we used to just say we used to call the Caribbean or Jamaica yard. Like
Mm-hmm.
like me, I go yard and things like that. So they just ended up stigmatizing like the criminal groups as yardies.
Could I ask you a question?
Yeah.
And thank you for giving your perspective across the pond. But I do have a particular question about the Cromwell comment that you made. I think the
Mm.
problem for the American Negro, the way we've been conditioned about skin color, if there would be the issue of a dark complexioned European that was self-hating, or you have some issues of racial miscegenation. Is that your understanding, or how does that work? Supposed black
Um,
nobility, like with King James, for example.
don't get me wrong. Like the Moors were busy people, but it's like what it's like to me. What Moors were they? Like, can anybody tell me what a Moorish boat from Mali or Senegal looks like?
I couldn't tell you
Or
at all, bro. I'm not educated
or
on the
Well,
Moors
or
in that manner.
the problem
or
with the
hold
term
on.
Moor and a
Hmm.
blackamoor is being used as a descriptive, definitive term, not an ethnicity, not a racial group, not a political organization. And see that back and forth thing of misconstruing what a word means, and we don't understand it in context historically. But my argument, which I'm still have yet to get some understanding, where these pale skinned individuals originated from, thereby default, whether it's the Celts or the Welsh or the Scots. Scotch, if I believe correctly, is dark, tawny complexion. So, what are these dark complexioned Europeans fighting other dark complexion Moors, let's say, for example. And what's your name again? I didn't catch
Mm.
your name.
And Torok.
Toro?
And Torok.
Yeah. And Toro, what's your
Yeah.
perspective on that?
No, I agree with that 100%. Don't get me wrong, but I feel like Western media only tries to paint that narrative because they want to say that black people enslave white people. And don't get me wrong, some of that did happen. And don't get me wrong, also just like the Roman army, a lot of Arabs on North Africa had black people in their armies and certain things like that, and gave them big statuses and things like that. And there's been document history that they used to enslave white people, but were they actually black people back done that, or the Northern Africans what we see today?
And if I could, can I ask you a real quick question, Troy?
Yeah, yeah.
During your travel studies and research, did anyone mention to you about the Gotha Bethas?
No, I never heard of that. I might know what it is, but I'm not too sure on that name.
Okay. If you could, anytime that you get a chance, please look up the Gotha Bethas. That's in England. That is one of the original families of England. I just
Okay.
wanted to ask you that because I did my research on them, and that's a strong family. And right now, that is who the crown is from those people. I just wanted to know if you
Mm.
knew anything about that.
I just sort of know that name Beffa from, I think his name is Mace. I've seen that word around, but not really. I haven't heard that history.
Yes, sir. It's the Gotha, Gotha, Betha, Betha.
I think I might have seen it on a coat of arms somewhere, to be honest.
Exactly. It was on a coat of arms. Yes, sir.
Interesting. I'm seeing here that it says that most Jamaican slaves came from the region of modern day Ghana,
Mm.
Nigeria, and Central Africa, and included the Akan, Ashanti, Yoruba, Igbo, and Ibibio peoples. But by the 18th century, Jamaica had become one of the most valuable British colonies. Interesting.
Mm.
You,
Yeah,
you
but
know what else
there's
I noticed?
mm.
That quite a few black British, like literally black British, resemble our people. They look totally different from Jamaicans.
Yeah, but the majority of those black British would either be from the Caribbean, to be honest.
Really, really. They could be the indigenous people, though. Because when you're
No,
saying indigenous
mm,
people have I mean, if they're indigenous to like the American soil, they do have indigenous features of that soil. They share, like when I see people in Barbados and St. Kitts and St. Croix and Haiti and
mm,
Cuba and over in Belize, over in Central America, period. We
mm.
do have features, whether we're high yellow or brown, a high yellow person over in all those areas, including Central America. Even
No,
though they're high
100%.
yellow, we still have the same features. Now,
Mm,
now, if you're talking in people indigenous to Jamaica, like you said, the most Black British originally were in Jamaica, then
mm.
those people, because that's North America too, and the
Yeah.
indigenous people of that soil, we share
Mm.
features. Like if you look at Idris Elbus,
Yeah.
I mean, this he has our features. He don't look like he's from Africa. He really don't.
100% because um you know about Sierra Leone and Freetown and um Liberia and all them sort of places in Africa. That's where they've taken a lot of our people to basically go back to Africa in a sense like that, or they put us in certain parts of Africa to um
Cultivate that land.
yeah, and imitate what they done in Americas or Canada or the Caribbean over there,
Okay.
basically.
Yeah, they did that here. American Colonization Society. They
Mm.
did. They took some Indians
Yeah,
from here and brought over there. But then those Indians came back. They got tired of it. They didn't want to be there. It's crazy.
yeah,
And
I've
it's
heard loads of
strange. It's really
stories.
weird because we have people that are from Liberia, that is, and they don't understand that a lot of them were taken there, and
Mm.
they felt that they just don't accept that. Look, you're really not your home. You're coming back home.
Yeah,
So, but
it's
being
kind of
over there so
crazy
long, yeah, it's like
because
you're
they had a
coming back.
war in it. I think there was a
Yep,
war where a lot of them actually went back to America, and
yep,
it's kind of crazy. It's like,
yeah, and
and
you
and
have these.
also the
Mm,
Africans know there as well, because like same thing in Freetown, same thing in Liberia. They started to war with us, and plus,
yeah, it's like weird because they know that they're really not from originally
mm,
from that soil.
mm,
And it's so funny. You got these little 1980, 1990 babies who have parents that have been over there for as long as that place have been established. And they just
mm.
stand on that they're Africans. And I'm like, that's why Africa don't include them in anything.
It's deep. It's a deep thing. Like when you really look into it and you try and tell people, it's like it takes time for them to digest all that type of information because the British, I'm not too sure with other nations, but the British used a lot of American people and the West Indian people to have armies in West Africa.
Mhm.
And the
Interesting. Interesting.
yeah, and the British where they used to have different parts like Benin, Nigeria, it's majority of the people from either Liberia or Sierra Leone used to be running certain empires or colonies in Africa for them, but they're from Sierra Leone or Liberia and things like that, and especially Ghana.
If I could ask you, over in the UK, have you ever been
Mm.
referred to as an African British person?
To be honest, this is not saying my big fight, but obviously, like a lot of us have been very Pan African in a sense like that, and I used to be very die-hearted Pan African, but my features don't really fit in West Africa. Everybody would say I'm nothing but Ethiopian.
There it is. There it is. I knew it.
But I mean, for my audience, and you with your British accent, because I love British accent. Could you turn your camera on so they could see you? Because when I see you, I'm like, okay, you don't have African features, but you got a British accent.
Hold on,
So it's
let me
kind of
turn that back on.
weird. It does not look. You don't look Jamaican because a lot of you don't look. you
Exactly.
don't. You don't.
Exactly.
I
But
mean, really.
but my grandmother from Saint Lucia, she's her mother was from Venezuela, and I think they were Calinagos.
Say that
Like,
again.
Dig that. Dig
like
that.
my grandmother on my father's side, her mother was from Venezuela, and I sort of know, but they're mostly like Calinagos,
Oh
like that's
wow,
like a next,
Venezuela.
yeah. Mm.
Venezuela. Mm,
Wow,
there it is.
wow. So you're indigenous to the soil. The further you go
100%.
back, so that
Yeah, like I
explains
see.
why you don't have African features.
Yeah, and I've done my research, and what I've learned is like
Smoke.
what I was saying.
That's what Smoke said. He looked Jamaican.
No, no, don't get me wrong. I've seen Jamaicans that look like me and certain things like that. But
I can't stand
it's
Smoke.
it's the relationships what's happened with certain, like, say with France to the British colony. All the French islands used to go up to Haiti. Haiti was like the jewel for the French. So even like places like Louisiana now, Louisiana, Haiti, Saint Lucia, Guadeloupe, they used to all export people back and forth to all the different French colonies, and vice
Mm,
versa, and
yep.
certain things. Because in Saint Lucia, they've got a big love for jazz, and they have
Which
like a
came from
festival called the
Louisiana.
Jazz Festival. Mm,
That came from Louisiana, sir.
100%.
Interesting.
I know exactly what he's divert. I know exactly what he's saying. Like I said, my wife's family is all that. I know exactly what he's talking about.
Wow.
And we also speak the same patois because it's like Creole, like it's like a
Yes,
broken French and Spanish. Like we all
broken
speak it.
French.
Haiti, Louisiana, Saint Lucia, Guadeloupe, and Dominica. So it's a lot of those people as well that are in Britain.
Yeah,
So
and
where the
Dominica,
features
they're not from Africa either. I
Mm-mm.
looked for all those sheep. They're not from Africa. A lot of Dominicans look Asian. To keep it real, they got Asian eyes, like,
mm,
which is weird.
and like our hands and certain features of us, and we're sort of short and stocky sort of thing, and
Like the boy
yeah.
that is British from Top Boy, he really do look British.
Yeah, it's like even what's his name, 21 Savage. One side of his family's from Dominica, and the other one is Saint Vincent, which is an island, uh, one island away from Saint Lucia, and very heavily populated with Kalinago people. But he's also from Britain, or he was born in Britain.
Hey, Tarot, if I could ask you
Mm,
another question, just real quick.
yeah.
In your travels and research and what you've come to understand, about how
Mm.
long did it take for you to see how religion played any parts in any kind of theology or ideology?
Oh, to be honest, that's a good question because I'll be honest, the way how I got led, but even though I knew deep down, because I've always asked my grandma about Africa and like what African are we, and my grandma used to just make up her face with her mouth and like look at me like I don't know what you're talking about, or like I'm not African. Like in Pato we call them Afuche. So it's like obviously we see Africans coming to England, and we've mixed with Africans in England, just how you probably mix with Africans in America, and it's two different spirits. Don't get me wrong, I do feel like there was some Africans that did get transported to the Caribbean, but there's a certain type of nature we have. Either something's happened to us, or we're a whole different type of human being in a sense like that. But um, we've it's interesting with the religious part because how I sort of grasped it more was through the Hebrew Israelites when they was breaking down the 12 tribe chart, and after learning about that, I started to learn about the spiritual side of being somebody indigenous to anywhere in the world, basically. So I started to learn everybody's indigenous cultures from Australia, the Mongolians, the Mayans, Aztecs, and just trying to see where they're coming from. And when I learned the Arawak one, specifically the Arawak one, I know a bit of the Kalinaga one,
Right.
it literally made too much sense. Like it just hit home with a lot of things. And it's just like, it made me realize that it's just like basically Christianity or the Abrahamic faith it belongs in the Middle East, because even English people, they had their own culture. I think they were called Druids,
Yep.
um, and they used to believe in people like Thor, and I can't remember their gods, but it's a whole different type of kettle of fish. But when the Romans came, they converted them into Christianity. So it's literally the same thing that's happened to us over in the Americas. They convert us into Christianity. Same thing in West Africa. They convert them into either Islam or Christianity, even though they had their own native indigenous creation stories and their own sort of cultural beliefs. So it's just sort of woke me up, and I'm more connected with my indigenous cultures, but just learning everybody else's cultures, it makes you realize that it's more substance, and your creation stories is of your land, so it will make more sense to you than hearing something from a million miles away.
I'm glad that you said that. I'm really am. Um, I implore you to keep going and do your due diligence on your research, and and yet again still stay within the realm of that you are who you are. Don't let nobody tell you who you are. They got to prove that. That's for them to bear that proof to say that you're from this or you're from that. I
Right.
salute you, my dude. I love the fact
Okay,
that you
thanks.
jumped on this panel. It was awesome to hear you.
Yes, it was. I really appreciate the education because I like to learn. I really do. And
Mm,
I just see that the British, the dark British are the original ones from that soil.
mm,
I just I don't know why, because if you look at these people, right, um, they tell you if they're African or if they're British, and they tell you no, I'm not African. I'm literally like this guy in the movie. These are the Top Boy cast, and most of
mm.
them are. He fine as hell too. I can't even front. He played the part as being from Jamaica, but he's not. He was born June 30th in '82, and United Kingdom. Um, and when I seen him, I said he don't look Jamaican, but he was just playing the part as though he was, but he's not. And
No, but don't you think he looks
man,
a bit like Ja Rule a little bit?
man, he fine it in Ja Rule. I'm sorry, hell no, no. Mm-mm.
No, but to be
And
honest, like
this was my
Jamaican.
favorite. I thought he was African and that played this part, and I was like,
Oh,
oh,
him. No,
he's
he's
he.
Jamaican, that one.
It's saying he was born in Spanish Town, Jamaica. So,
I see. Mm.
but he looks African.
He's even what's his name? You know that guy Tyreek in Power. I think he's Jamaican as well.
Power Tariq
Mm.
Nasheed. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
And
but they're all
but
shapes
this
and
was my
colors in the
favorite.
Caribbean.
He was my favorite out of all of them.
Yeah, Asher
Sully.
D. He's a good. He was. Yeah. Oh, Scully. He's. I think he's. I think he might be a
No,
bit
he
Saint Lucian and Jamaican as well.
um it says that
Because
he's
they're all born in
what is it?
Britain, but like their parents and things.
I don't know, but
So
he's my favorite out of all of them. He's my favorite one. He
Mm.
didn't take no shit. He act like a nigga from here. I ain't even lying. I'm not lying. He
if I
fine as
could,
hell. He uh-huh.
if I could, Tarak, would
Mm.
so it's safe to say, it's safe for is it safe for me to say again with your research and your knowledge and your travels that you do know, or you can say that you do not believe the out of Africa theory?
Um. No, to be honest, I don't believe that theory. To be honest, because I've asked this question like years ago to like a lot of Pan Africans and to like white people, and I heard Brother Sanchez brought this point up.
Shay
So
says that
if we
much
did
are Jamaican. They had him
if
in
we
London.
did if we did believe in the out of Africa theory, does that mean then black people evolve? I mean, yeah, does that mean black people evolved from white people then?
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I
I
needed to
don't
know
believe
that.
this. So, they're saying in the chat that Ashley Walters, with his fine ass, that his parents are Jamaican. This dude is fine as hell. And he plays his damn part. He do. But he has a British accent. And I can believe that he's indigenous to the soil. Cause you just throw a Indian headdress on him and you got a damn Arawak. Right? Keeping it
No,
real.
it's true as you said that he's got like the sort of yeah, no, I know what you
He
mean.
got a
Like
very
cheekbones.
yeah, he got a very Arawak look. And he fine as hell. Yes, he is, honey. And if I saw him, Malcolm, on the street, now he's African, Stefan. But if I saw him on the street, he looked like somebody in my damn hood.
Stefan. I can't remember who that was.
Stefan was the baby brother of this guy. I know this movie. Of he's the baby brother of who Sully killed, of him, Michael, of Jamie.
Oh, the little brother.
Jamie,
Oh,
yeah.
okay,
Stefan played his little brother.
okay. Oh, he
Sully
grew. Oh, the
killed
brother,
him. I was
little
so
brother grew
hurt.
up.
Yeah, he grew up and he would. I was upset how they ended that movie because I wanted to know who the hell killed Sully. I think it was her. I think she killed Sully. I don't think he did.
Oh,
Everyone he was going to kill Sully. He wanted to kill Sully for killing his brother.
mm,
But I think this chick killed him. I don't know why. I don't know why, but I think she killed him. That was a good ass series. I was upset they're not coming back, but it was really good.
yeah,
It was good. Top Boy, y'all watch Top Boy. That was good. It's like wild niggas in London instead of here. Same stuff.
no, it's like that all over Europe. You got some of the people from the Caribbean, like from Guadeloupe, Martinique in France, and then you got a lot like loads of Africans over there as well in France and UK. But
Yeah,
yeah,
London was they trying to they kicked a lot of Africans out, sent them back, deported them.
no, they kicked us out, the West Indians.
Oh, they didn't kick
Yeah,
the Africans out.
No,
no,
they imported
no,
more.
yeah. They're coming on boats because obviously it's a short distance. Like literally England, Ghana, Nigeria. It's literally they got the same time zone. So the time now in where I am is 11:48. It's 11:48 in Ghana, Gambia, Nigeria. Literally, I think personally Europe is Africa to me. Europe is like North
Well,
Africa.
you have to say it is because that's where you get your black Europeans from. When you hear black
Yeah.
Europeans,
No, but you have to remember that you get the Sahara Desert that's in the middle, and the
in
Sahara
the
Desert
middle
is a
of
big desert.
right,
Like I've been to Spain, like the south of Spain, and literally you can see Morocco. So even when I was very Pan-African, I'm thinking, oh my God, that's the motherland. I can see from here. And you literally, not to say you could swim there, but if you are a good swimmer, you could swim there. And it's like half an hour on a boat from Spain. So
so
it's not
what
hard for them to get there.
are you no longer Pan African?
No, no, that's out the window.
Is it because you found about your history?
Literally, I used to be so radical Pan African, watching Malachi York, Sarnetta, and it got to a point where I said to myself, I only want to eat African food, and I want to eat it before they got colonized. And this is when I started learning about food and cassava. And I learned that, cassava is actually an American thing. Because I grew up in the Caribbean, in the countryside, and we learned about cassava, and there's a sweet one and a bitter one, and the bitter one is very poisonous. I think both of them is poisonous. So I was thinking, how did Africans know how to cultivate cassava? So they obviously must have brought loads of us over there to cultivate it on a big scale. It's a serious thing. It's like cassava is a very, very serious sort of crop where you have to know what you're doing, or you're going to end up with cyanide poisoning.
Well, I wouldn't even bother it just on that note to make sure.
A lot,
serious.
Yeah. Honestly, but it's lovely though. It's one of our staple crops in South America, even up certain parts in North America, the Caribbean, Central America, like cassava or yuca. That's one of our staple foods, like from the ages.
So, do you speak Creole at all, like your family?
A little bit, not that much. I know a few Arawak words, Kalinago words, and Garifuna words.
Okay.
That's where we are with the Garifuna. That's where we are with the Garifuna.
So you're very, very British, culturally British.
I'm no of it, but
I mean, you have their accent because you were born there, so you were culturally raised in that.
Yeah, I would say so. Yeah,
community, because it's like you don't have any like Jamaican.
No, I can put on the patois, but we all speak a bit different in the different islands, and in a sense like that. And we like the street slang in Britain is basically Jamaican patois. But the thing about it as well, what a lot of people might not like to admit, but a lot of the Jamaican patois is a lot of it influenced from Ireland. If you listen to some Irish people, if you listen to some Irish people, you hear certain words they're saying, you're thinking, wow.
Wow, interesting. Very interesting. This has been very informational. If anybody want to come on the panel, I'm going to send out one invite. And if you have any questions that you may want to ask Turek, are they? Is it okay if they come up and ask you or Smoke questions?
Yeah, 100%.
Again, bro, I gotta say again, thank you again for coming in. I know it's late over there. I just love the fact that you did come on here and you gave your perspective, your knowledge, and your wisdom. I salute you, my dude.
Oh, give thanks for that.
I salute you too.
And power to both of you, like the work you do. I've seen a couple of your shows, and you've been around for a hot minute now, and
he's in a hot minute. So I'm gonna play one song in hopes that somebody may have a question for you. So I'll give them time to get up. The link is in the chat. Please feel free to click the link.
Long live These are my memoirs. Light up a cigar, smoke up the memories as I sit and dust them off. Why do people say it's just to piss you off? Ignore them, no call button and then dress too par. Now they can't test the guards, had to defy the odds. It only get tougher back then, we thought times was hard. Told them don't write me off, told them don't type at all. To all the ones that gave up, this a reply to y'all. That wavy haired kid that you knew, been on a tear since. The crowds was lower than the laughter, now that I'm hearing the praise for staying committed to something they played with. It was always about us, it's never about who's your favorite. Took my insecurities and made my future more secure. The way we moving, it's like we really been here before. The proof is in the progress from the year before. Furthermore, we wanted to further things more. They took another route, so what you think we kings for? No angel ever said, yo, who these wings for? Ain't no champion ever said, who these rings for? So don't question what God doing, who you live for. Start accepting who you are and what you do it for. Doing less, doing more, it's really either or. Meet them halfway when one close, here go another door. Here go.
Okay. Hey, Smoke.
Salute. Hey, man. Shout out to the channel, to the panel, and to the chat. Power to the motherfucking people. I got a question for the Jamaican slash European brother. You say
Oh yeah, greetings.
what you say?
Greetings, brother, greetings.
Oh, okay. You said you was heavily influenced by the Pan-African paradigm. What led you to take that particular route? Was it like your upbringing where you always informed that you may have had African ancestry, or what was it that put you on that particular path? Go ahead, the floor yours, my nigga.
To be honest, if we look at reggae music in the 70s and all the way up to the 80s and 90s and even up to now, it was very heavily influenced with repatriation and going back to Africa in the Caribbean, and like we had our national heroes, but I really never knew of national heroes like that in the Caribbean. We always knew of Marcus Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, Martin Luther, and certain things like that. So later on down the line, it was like a big conscious sort of thing going on after the 2000s, and that when the internet came in, and a lot of people went to prison, and they had these Malachi York books and things like that. So in the sort of black communities, they've always been that sort of black consciousness, one could say, and that we was raised like to basically be proud to be black, and we were African and all these types of things, and going back
Hold on,
listening to like
hold on, slow your roll, my nigga. Information overload. Look, what I wanna ask you now, right? So you saying basically you were socialized to accept the African paradigm. Do you have any instances whereupon your family led you to the African understanding? Your immediate family, like mother or father, aunties, uncles, brothers, sisters,
no,
first cousin, none of them, right? They never
none of them.
advocated that you may have been African due to some type of heritage.
It was just that basic history where everybody gets like, oh, they shipped Africans over, and we're Africans and we were slaves, and just that sort of narrative, and the reggae music, the Rastafari culture and things like that.
Okay, yeah, because that also transpired to a lot of people here on the mainland. We've been socially conditioned to accept that we are indeed from Africa, but when trying to find the actual African that connects us to Africa, we have difficulty doing so. I think that applies for the average so-called African American these days. So yeah, y'all understand your point. But that's all I had to ask you, brother. Go ahead.
Yeah, because we're very similar in our experiences, I would say, um as mainlanders and islanders in a sense like that. It's just the really different climates that set us apart in a sense like that. But we've all gone through like a certain type of, one could say, MK Ultra, and we're, to be honest, in Africa, it's not a black thing, and it's when you actually start learning from Africans about Africa and not from Afro-Caribbeans or African Americans, real Africans. They look at us in a way like to say like, what are you on about? And I used to get very angry as a Pan African, thinking, why aren't you thinking like me? Why aren't you like me? And why ain't we got this spirit? Like, what is going on? What we're African. We should be fighting the same fight. And our fight and an indigenous or native African fight is a total different fight. and I feel like this is where we used to clash heads a lot. And I'll be honest, like a lot of my father's generation, so I've heard, they used to make fun of Africans, and it's only until Roots came out, the movie, then everybody started to say they're African and they're Mandinga or whatever, no, the other.
Same thing here.
There it is.
So I just gotta laugh in my head because I'm just trying to hear someone with a British accent saying I'm Zulu.
But he said something that
What
was
about the
absolutely
average?
correct.
What about the average what you call black person in where you say you at, France or Europe or something? Where you?
England, London.
Okay, yeah. What about the average so-called black person out there? Do they subscribe to the African paradigm as well?
Oh, it's a bit different over here because like the West Indian people were like the first sort of larger black community. Then later on, Africans came. Then you had people from Pakistan, India, and other little places, Middle East nowadays, and all different parts. But the Caribbean culture was like the main sort of black culture, one could say. So a lot of the Africans sort of gravitated to our culture because obviously we had a fight with like racism and certain things, and a lot of them used to hide behind us basically, or try and galvanize with us to fight racism in a sense like that. But a lot of their parents now from the Africans didn't want them to mix with us in a sense like that because they see us wearing dreadlocks and certain things like that. And in Africa, they
Oh,
they call
wow.
they call dreadlocks dodo, and dodo means like it's a madman hairstyle. Like you're only
Oh
mad.
shit.
Yeah,
Damn.
and it's deep, because you got the Rastas now saying Africa, Africa, motherland, and you got an African looking at you saying, "Look, you're wearing dodo. That's dodo. You're a mad person." Things like that. So it's a very harsh reality, but we had to learn. We had to, like, if you are African, you have to learn from Africans. In a sense, it's not something. Well, we got our own way of doing things in a sense like that, but Africans do African real things in a sense like that. So like it was a lot of misunderstanding. So when we was going through racism and certain things in Britain, um basically when the Windrush people came from the West Indies, we came here to do certain jobs what other people didn't want to do after World War II. When Africans come to Europe, they're mostly coming from, or even America, they're mostly coming from like royal families. So you see that the Coming to America film is it's not too far fetched from what they are saying. And you have to remember some of these Africans, they have over 14, 20 children and certain things like that. So it's only the rich Africans at the time in the 90s, I mean the 50s, 60s, going up to the 90s that could come to Europe or go to America. And when they did come to Europe or America, they're coming to study some big qualifications and things like that. When we came over here from the West Indies, it was either to drive train, be bus driver, Royal Mail, and all these different types of things. So it was a total different sort of understanding. Nowadays, it's probably more mixed, where you got lower class people from Africa that can come to England, and we could get along with them. But what I started to realize very later on, that if these people are princes and kings and all these types of things, weren't they the ones that sold black people to the British, and these black people ended up in America or the Caribbean?
Bingo.
Yeah, if that story had any validity to it, we could question it.
No,
But the deeper
no, but
we dig
it's
into it, the less valid the sources indicates that even actually happened by any means. I'm
no,
recently
but
of the I'm recently
it's
of the
deep though.
opinion that Europeans wasn't really invading or
No, not
I
how they
don't even
made it
think
look in roots.
I'm saying in the times that they said they was doing that, when they was still referring to Africa as a dark continent, that place was largely being avoided.
They used to stay on the coastline. Like
Why?
they call West Africa the white man's graveyard because of malaria. So they weren't running in nowhere to capture anybody.
I knew
Those
it.
people were either captured and brought to them on the coastline, and they swap people for gin, umbrellas, and some old muskets or something like that. Just little bits and bobs, I could say.
Damn.
So pretty much, Rock, what you saying pretty much is we was doing business. This was all business transactions, correct?
But this is the thing: when Africans tell some of these Pan-Africans in Britain these things, it was only business. It hits a nerve.
Well, it's kind of
Like it
weird.
scars them
Seeing that
deep.
Africans don't create nothing. It's like, what do they make? Not to be funny.
Don't get
It's
me wrong.
like they're not the inventors of nothing.
Some of them are smart. Don't get me wrong. So that
Well, hold
no,
on, Queen Mother. See, that's when they stamp made in Africa over here. See, this is when you have somebody start off by calling these black inventions, and then that evolves into African American, doesn't
Yeah.
mm, but it's a different
it? See,
relationship.
I'm not disagreeing with your perspective, my good brother. Here's the thing:
Mm.
everyone comes over here on our doorstep, and excuse my French, which is interesting. We use that term to describe vulgarity. Shit on the Negro, who's the first called out of their name, whether it's American or Indian. And then anything that has come from us that is prosperous and good, everyone else steals or sells it back to us or sells the culture to the world. Now, you tell me what culture sells more than hip hop and so called rap music ever in the history of the world. I don't even think it's actually been documented. It's multi billions of dollars currently. But where has it been created by any African? And dare I say, even from the Caribbean. Now, you do know they're trying to steal it with Busta Rhymes and Fat Joe as we speak. But where has anything come naturally from their cultures without our involvement and has then excelled to be going and transporting the world? Just a thought. You can chop it up as you choose, my brother.
It's a good thing you say there, because this is where now, not to say I will fully go into it, but what the Hebrew Israelites say, it's like we get used basically. It's really only recently, maybe I'll give it maybe just about 20 years, Afro beats started to be very popular. And obviously some of their music, or the majority of the music, is very friendly, easy to market. They're probably more easy to work with, sense like that. So this is where they get their notoriety and popularity. But obviously a lot of what they've um
But my
evolved
good
their
brother, I
music.
would say Afro is not African. Afro is a hairstyle originated by the American and given to the Negro during the Black Power movement. So even when they say Afro beats, I believe the young people say they biting our shit. But go ahead, brother, keep chopping up.
No, don't. Yeah, that's basically what I was gonna get to. Like, there's a lot of borrowing, one could say, but they would tell you, oh, but this comes from Africa. You play drums. The drums come from Africa, and it's just a back and forth sort of thing. But the thing is, those Afrobeats artists, they get paid their music. The reggae artists, the soca artists, and the hip hop artists, we don't really get the full value of our work. Think about it. Bob Marley was probably on the same, near enough the same level as Michael Jackson. Do you think he had the same money as Michael Jackson?
No. But I'm about to. I love y'all, and I'm about to redirect y'all. I've got a good segment coming up, so just hang tight, and you're going to be in his chat, and I'm getting ready to go over there and be in the chat because I've been on now for 2.5 hours, and I'm going to redirect y'all to BAP. Love y'all.